Welcome to Not Just a Transaction, the podcast series hosted by experienced real estate authorities Nick Prefontaine and Zachary Beach. Each week, the hosts bring you expert guests to help you navigate the many creative options available for buying or selling a home, while cutting out the costly hurdles of a conventional real estate deal. All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Not Just a Transaction podcast, the Home Buyers and Sellers podcast, here with my co-host, Zachary Beach.
That's me.
And I am Nick Prefontaine, if I didn't introduce myself properly. Today, we'd like to welcome a person who we've actually done a lot of business with over the years on both sides of the coin. So with buyers and with sellers, he's been able to help us out, and that's a realtor in the Southeastern Mass area. His name is Manny Lindo. Manny, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate being invited on.
Yeah, welcome. Manny, could you just kind of tell our listeners kind of who you are, where you're from, and more or less your expertise?
Sure.
We can dive a little further in that as well.
Sure. I am the broker owner of Highland Real Estate in Fall River, and I'm also a property flipper and investor. I've been so my entire career, and I've been able to attract other investors and property flippers who have similar interests to my business, and I specialize in working with investors on flipping properties. I'm located right out of Fall River, and my market area tends to hover between Bristol County and Plymouth County. However, I do venture out from time to time, and I've had my most profitable deal was actually in another state I'm not even licensed in Rhode Island. I had to list that property out with a strategic partner I have out there.
Love it. Our neck of the woods. That's right.
Yeah.
Don't be crossing over our line. Nick, I know you had some specific questions for Manny, but we're excited to have you on the show.
Yeah, first, Manny, just I'd like to dive into it, just because you've worked with us for several years now with Pre-Property Solutions, and if I do say so myself, it's been a mutually beneficial relationship. Can you talk about how, as a realtor, Pre-Property Solutions is not competition to you and your business?
Not at all. I consider your company and mine to be strategically aligned. I have a segment of customers who reach out to me that I can't service, and anybody who needs a rent-to-own deal, even though we're both in that rent-to-own business, but anybody who needs a rent-to-own deal that goes over 6 months, I can't service. So unless I had the relationship I do with Pre-Property Solutions, I couldn't offer them anything. So rather than not being useful to those clients, I was able to refer them to you, and you guys have been able to help those clients in getting into those longer term deals, which is a win-win for everyone. And not only those clients with the rent-to-own business, but also in the partnership that we've through the partnership that we've had, the trust that you place in me in giving me your listings has been beneficial the other way around on the listing side of my business.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into that a little bit more. How you've helped us in several respects, where it's been more than just a one-off. It's been it's been multiple properties. It's been more than one property where we are in a position where we've had to enlist the services of a realtor, and we definitely felt that it was best to go with you, and you got it done for sure. We're gonna dive into that a little bit, and maybe even we could talk about that a little bit now. because I'm just thinking about the whole order of this and the questioning, Manny. Um, the several properties that I'm thinking of, they're not just so all the listeners out there know, these aren't like cheap deals. These aren't foreclosures or distressed properties or anything like that. These were higher end properties, and we were able to use Manny to sell those properties. So Manny, do you want to talk about your experience in working with us a little bit?
Yes, it was very beneficial to get these high price listings from you guys. I was I was surprised at the quality of the listings that you guys were able to refer to me, and I do appreciate that. Um, the, um, the property we did, the historic home we did out in Middleborough, was very desirable. Multiple people interested in it. The even working with the occupant in the building, they had such a respect for you guys and the way that they were treated with your company, that they were very cooperative. And and that matters. You guys operate with integrity, and because of that, I found that working with clients that are working with you was smooth going. It went well. I mean, we put that property under agreement. There was a very minor cleanup to do, and that property could have easily qualified for FHA financing, just like the one in Plymouth more recently that could have qualified for FHA financing. And in the case where the property needs, something repaired due to a home inspection issue, you guys were right there to step up and agree to do it. So we work well together. Those deals were a couple of the easier ones.
Yeah, that property in I believe it was Lakeville, Lakeville, Middleborough area. This is an
Right.
example of when the strategic partnership comes into place, right? We place a tenant buyer in the property. The tenant buyer has a life event, right? I mean, it's very rare that a tenant buyer defaults going through our program. It just, the only time it doesn't work or the only time it doesn't get to the finish line is if a life event happens. Specifically with these buyers, they had a job relocation, which was bringing them down to Florida. They knew that they were no longer going to purchase the property. So they were very easygoing, or they worked with us in order for us to put this property on the market and sell it traditionally. That way we could get the seller or our partner in the deal all the way to the finish line. That's why these partnerships work great with realtors such as Manny is. If you either refer us a deal or you don't, we're always going to be looking for that exit strategy if things don't go our initial route, and to be able to lean on realtors like yourself, Manny, to be able to get this thing to the finish line and to make all parties happy in the long run is a major benefit. So again, thanks for that. Thanks for helping us out on that deal.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and a little Manny, a little bit of plug for you here. The reason that it really showed up during the whole transaction that we did, and both deals that we did, not just that one in Lakeville, but there were several instances within the deal where we needed help. We're physically here at our office in Newport or Middletown, Rhode Island, so we weren't able to be there on location, and there was a few cases where Manny had to be available to go to the property, and he was able to follow through and get it done. And I think that was instrumental in the deal getting to the closing table. So we really appreciate that.
No, and I have no problem with that. Being that these properties are located in my market area, I would expect that you would rely on me to meet people and to quality the workmanship on jobs you had done, and et cetera, et cetera. Um, being that I'm in proximity to the deal, but not a problem. Always willing to, go above and beyond. Keep a client such as yourself happy, and any client for that matter. I do want to have a happy client that's going to come back to me over and over again.
Awesome. And just as we wrap up here, the final question that I had is why would you refer sellers to pre-property solutions? You've already touched on why you would refer buyers. Why would you refer sellers to pre-property solutions?
Well, not everybody is in a position to sell. Um, if I walk into a property and they're upside down on their mortgage based on today's values, and that still happens from time to time. You have people who they may be in advanced stages of the foreclosure process where a payoff to the bank could extend that, and you guys could step in and work out a deal where you could buy more time and get that mortgage down to where it could be sold later on by putting a tenant buyer in place. Not everybody that I walk in to see, I have a solution for myself, but having alliances with companies such as yourself, I'm able to still help that client out and give them some solution that could help them.
I love it. I was actually on the phone with another realtor, potentially working with her. She's up in Plymouth, and she said, "Hey, I have a property, and the seller is actually in arrears right now, and it's at a point where she's in forbearance. Like it's not she's in foreclosure just yet. Would you be able to help them?" And I said, "Well, if all the numbers work, yeah, I would definitely like the ability to have that conversation, so that way we don't have to have that seller get their credit damaged any further, and we could certainly take that off our hands and create a win-win scenario." So that is certainly one beneficial if it doesn't fit inside your box, or your seller's not able to pay for your services, then yeah, it's an absolute major referral because you're looking out for every party involved. And Manny, that's why we continue to work with you. Manny, before we forget, like if somebody's listening, it sounds like a real estate investor you like to work with, or buyers or sellers that may be looking for the traditional route. What's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Through my cell number, 508-207-3777, or on my website. They could fill out a contact form. That's highlandrealestate.net. Either way.
Awesome. We'll go ahead and make sure that's in the show notes. Final question, Manny, and it's a doozy. Why is it not just a transaction to you working with buyers and sellers?
Buying and selling a home is a major life decision, and anybody getting into it needs to know that they're working with an ethical player in the game, and they're not, and that their interests are being looked after. So, in my business, I always seek out ways to help where I can't be of service. So, having alliances such as you guys, where I could refer people that I can't help, is very important. Not just in what you do, but in other avenues. People who are having trouble with tenants and own multifamilies that need foreclosure help. I've always prided myself on knowing a little bit about every aspect of the business where my customers may need assistance in. That's just how I've always done business, and being able to steer people to the right place. I mean, sometimes people just need bankruptcy, and I've got a great bankruptcy attorney. Answers the call every time you call him. For sure.
Sure, he does.
Never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it. I don't think people could say that about me, but this guy's just he's a good egg. But yeah, so I've got resources and hard money financing for investor flipping, multiple resources, multiple avenues to place my deals with. I have multiple routes for finding fix and flip deals. So specializing with investor clients. I'm able to find enough deals between my alliances I've made with different estate planning attorneys, guys who get attorneys who get appointed as commissioners in sometimes bankruptcy cases, sometimes just lawsuits. There's court order sales. I solicit estate deals and wholesalers calling me with deals. I've made it onto some national lists, on investor lists, where I get called from a guy in Texas who just happened to come across a property in Massachusetts, and I'm the local guy. So I've put my feelers out there. I have a vast network of resources for my clients, and I'm able to not only find the deal, but also consult throughout the process and get people through the whole flip process from beginning to end.
Manny, I didn't thank you so much for sharing and coming today. I wasn't prepared for the comic relief portion of the show that you provided with that joke about that was good. I appreciated that.
Manny Lindo, the Swiss Army knife of realtors. So again, if you are a buyer or a seller and you're looking, or even an investor, and you happen to be listening to this podcast, if you're looking to contact Manny Lindo, we're going to put it in the show notes. Thank you very much, Manny, Nick, for another fantastic Not Just a Transactions podcast. Tune in next week, and we'll dive into another session of the podcast. Everybody have a fantastic day, and we'll call it a wrap.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Not Just a Transaction. If you want to learn more on selling a home, buying a home, or resources to learn more, head on over to our website at originalre.com.